gorgeous sunrise. There's two boats out on the reef. I don't think you'll be able to see them on the GoPro. Who knows if they'll be there when I get there. But yeah. Lovely morning. So I came down to the East Beach rather than White Sands, mainly due to the number of boats that were on the reef. I've just been dodging boats all day, and I've only got an hour, so I've come down here. It's quite a few rollers actually. I don't know if they come across on the GoPro, but there's quite a few rollers. It'll be a good morning though. Let's get there. Right. Let's get the kayak down, and then let's get going. Right, sorted. Let's get going. My right foot is very wet to start with. Hey ho. Oh no! Oh no! Why? Why this morning? Of all mornings, does that feel? There we go. Oh dear. Right. Got my paddle there around. Let's go. What a lovely morning. Let's take a moment to just appreciate it as we go out. Welcome to this early morning video. Thank you very much for joining me. It's I think 7 o'clock now. I got down here about 6:30, waiting for the sun to come up just a little bit more, because I don't have a light. So I didn't bring my light with me, so I just wanted to make sure that it was just bright enough to paddle, which it is. And that's us off. Don't think we'll be catching any fish today. The weather's been pretty rotten. I don't think it's really fishing weather. Oh, big wave. The watch is all the way back in actually. It might cause us a bit of bother. Oh, so I spent ages looking for my gloves, and last night, and I got to the van and I was like, it's too warm, I won't need my gloves. Which it is, but my paddle's all covered in algae. Definitely not totally flat, which is what the forecast said. It's not too bad anyway. Let's get out beyond this last roller and then we'll have a look at how we're doing. Right. Didn't get the old sounder on. It's got an hour out here before I need to get in and get back for work. Which is reasonable. Maps can't be loaded. Oh, that's a shame. Okay, so we don't have a map. We've got a sounder, but we don't have a map. It's a new phone, and I never thought about downloading the maps before I left the house. So what's that? A big plane underneath the clouds. I think what we'll do this morning is we'll head out and we'll, I know some spots, we'll just go cut a few laps around those spots. Got slow jig and a feather rod with me just to see. Oh, it's nice to be out. It's very end of March, so it's a good day to be out. It's quite warm actually. It's probably about 10 degrees in the surface. Water temperature is probably about 7, I would imagine. Got a big dry suit on. 8 degrees of water temperature. If you want to know what I'm looking at, the last video I put up on the channel was all about my new rack for my van, which is just amazing. Do check them out if you have a van and you don't like lifting your kayak on and off. Weight assisted lift, counterlever assisted lift. It's all manpower, but it's or woman power, but it's all about the way you lift it. So that's really helpful for me. And then yeah, I talked about how I catch fish using structure. So it wasn't as in depth as perhaps it could be, but I basically just put in a load of clips of me catching some fish and popped in what the sounder was looking like at the time, so you can have a look at the kind of structure and how to use structure to maximize your fish catching ability. This is a bit squint. Straighten this one up. Oh, what a gorgeous morning. The sun's coming up, but it's just underneath the horizon there. It's lovely this morning. A bit grey. A bit dark for sunglasses. Oh, coffee. Right. How could I get this working? So I'm still in the gully just now that runs out here. I'm going to track down that way, I think. See if I can find some structure, see if I can find some holes. Keep an eye on the time. Oh, maps are loading. Maps are loading. Yeah, maps are loaded. Okay, good. Obviously just needed a bit of time to download them. Yeah, I would like to download it, but to use offline, but maybe not right now while I'm trying to fish. Not worried about using it while I'm downloading my... It's like, do you want to use this on data? Well, yeah, because I'm in the middle of the sea and I'd quite like it. So I think I need to be in a class at 9. So I think if I come off the water at 8, pack the van up, get home, have a shower, and then I'll do the class online. It's not a hangover from COVID, perhaps. I can see the surface boil where the pressure wave is hitting the reef, so we're going to go and try and find that. That will not be visible on the GoPro in any sense of the imagination. Visible on the drone. I don't think I brought the drone with me. I don't really got time to put it up. It's not in the van, but there definitely is not time to get it up. Okay, so there's some fish underneath us. Let's have a wee drop here. I don't have a jig on yet. It'll have to be feathers to begin with, because I haven't actually rigged up a jig. Let's see what we've got underneath us. Tip wrap. Sort that out. I haven't checked this reel's functioning. Yeah. Yeah, this reel's busted. Yeah. Yeah, this reel's broken, I think. That's not turning at all. Oh man, reel troubles. Tighten that up. See if I can manually wind this up. Oh man. Need to get some better reels. I'm now having to manually wind this up because the reel's broken. Should have checked it before I came out. I'll not be buying one of these again. I'm going to invest in a pen slammer. The next time you see me using a spinning reel on this channel, unless it's something I've already got that I don't mind wrecking, it's going to be a pen slammer, because I'm just breaking these reels with the salt water. This was rinsed, this was greased. This was 20 quid, so I'm not surprised that it's not working. Oh man, it's nearly there. I should have checked it before I started today. I was in a bit of a rush this morning to get down. Oh, note to self, spend some money on some reels. If you buy cheap, you buy twice. Well, at the moment, I'm buying cheap. And so the last ones I bought were called Sea Night reels. They were from Amazon, right? And they were fine. I had those last me a year, 2 years. I've had one last me a year and I've had one last me 2 years. I've never had any bother. Let's go for an 80 gram jig to start with. I don't think the current's that fast. Yeah, however, that one, so they've gone up in price. So last time I tried to buy one of those Sea Night reels, just because I snapped the gear in one of them, I got a tip wrap and pulled it out. I got a snag and a tip wrap, and I tried to force it at the snag and I snapped one of the gears. So I couldn't get them. So I thought, oh, 20 quid, it'll do me just now. I've got no money, it's Christmas time, no money. I mean, I have a baby, I have no money anyway. But this one's still working. That's what's important. There we go. Yeah, I thought, oh, I'll just buy a slammer. Not slammer. I'll just buy a cheap one until I can save the money to get a slammer, or snag. Yeah. I'll just save the money until I can get a cheaper reel. Oh god, it's going to be a good day if we're first into a snag. Let's try and give that a bit of line and try and bounce that out. First drop into a snag. Jesus. Come on. Can't get the angle on this, dude. I haven't got my gloves, so bouncing this out is going to be a little bit difficult, I think. I'm not going to be able to bounce it out without my gloves on. Oh man, what a day. Catastrophe. Come on. Oh man. So one of the best ways I find to get rid of snags is to really put some vibration down the line. And you can normally hook them out. This one isn't coming, this one's going to have to be a snap, I think. Oh man. What a morning. Pull for a break in the first drop. This is my favourite lure as well. I've stopped making this. Come on. Oh, yes, persistence pays off. Got it back. Right, let's find some fish. Oh, there's fish on the bottom here. Let's have another drop. Let's have a look. Try not to snag it this time as soon as we go down. I hit the bottom and just straight up into a snag. There we go. That's us off the bottom. Ah, shame about that reel. Right. Need to invest in some better reels. So if I buy any more 25 quid ones, then by the time that they've got me through the summer, I'll have been better spending 170 quid on a slammer. Investment. Right, let's have a look what we've got here. So we've got some marks on the bottom. I'm not 100% sure if they're fish or bait fish or maybe some squid. I don't have any squid, well I do, but not that will go on this rod. Don't have any squid stuff with me. I normally carry a spare reel with me as well. Oh, that was a knock. No. Okay, so I think I need to up to 100 grams. The 85 is just too light. Was that a fish? No, that was just a snag. That felt like a rope actually. So I've got on here, this rod, I've got a leader, a bit of rubbing leader. It's not very long, 2 foot, 3 foot. And it's tied on with an FG knot, but it's getting caught in my eyes because the eyes on this rod are really small. Let's try this. Let's try this one instead. Let's try my pliers. So the last time you saw me out in the kayak was, I think, the 5th of February. It's my mum's birthday, so I've been not on the kayak for just over 2 months. Just under 2 months. It's the end of March now. And so what I tend to do is when I put the kayak away for a period of time, a couple of months, I tend to get all my stuff out, rinse it all, empty all my hatches, and normally, I don't always do this, but normally I stick some like desiccating like beads, you know, the stuff they send your electronics in to keep them dry and postage. Keep those if I ever buy anything. And there's something on the bottom here, but it looks like a rope. It's like a straight line. I don't see any pots though. Yeah, and I tend to just keep those kind of to dry off all my gear. So just chuck all my lures in that, chuck in the garage, and then, oh, that was a fish, I think. If it was a fish, I didn't quite hook it properly. And then this morning and last night, I put everything together, packed it all into the kayak. Knew that I was coming out early, so that I had to be semi-awake. And yeah, got ready to come this morning. I guess that's the thing about fishing, isn't it? Is that, you know, fishing is what I like to call a growth mindset sport. So I'm a big fan of a growth mindset. Now is not the time to start talking about this because I'm about to go and paddle. Let's wheel this up. Let's paddle into another spot, and then let's have this conversation. Interesting. That's interesting. A bit of wind and the whole sea is just like totally changed shape and things. Not shape, texture. That's really pretty. I don't think that'll come across on the GoPro either. GoPros have their uses. Right, that should take us back over this. Right, let's talk about growth mindset fishing. So, one of my big philosophies in life is about having a growth mindset. So if you know what a growth mindset is, then great, you know. But do you do it? That's another question. You know what something is, and do you use it is a different question. However, you know, Carol Dweck is a psychologist. She's an educationalist. She's a child psychologist. I'm not sure what she is. Anyway, she talks about in her book Mindset about having a growth mindset and how it's really important to foster a growth mindset in children during education, and or during anyone in education in my world. But yeah, so growth mindset fishing. So every time you go out, oh no, that's weird. Every time you go out fishing, are you out there to catch a fish? It's a mindset thing, isn't it? Or are you out there to learn how to be better at catching a fish? So I hear a lot of fishermen, you know, oh, I don't fish there, you'll not catch any fish. Oh, there's never any fish there. Oh, you know, you can't use squid on a third day of the week on a Tuesday, third week of the month on a Tuesday. Well, why not? Do you know? And I think that's one of the big things that there are fish underneath us now. Let's see if we can catch one of these. I think that's one of the big things that I found in my time fishing, is that it's very easy for people to become very fixed in their mindset about fishing, and I get it sometimes. I'm bad in the winter for always fishing the same spot. I'm not very good at going and fishing other spots. You'll have seen through my videos, even on the channel through winter, I fish pretty much the same area because I know that it holds fish and I know the spots, so I feel safe fishing there. Now, the safety and growth mindset are different things. We'll not have that conversation right now. But growth mindset's all about going in and understanding that what you're doing, are you there to get better and improve, or are you there to achieve? And I think they're the two kind of differences. Now, if you go in with a mindset that you're going to achieve all the time, well, let's be honest, it's life. We don't always achieve. We make mistakes. We have bad days. You know, oh, sugar, what's this? Hold on, there's a bit of dodgy swell here. Oh, that's horrible. Where did that come from? I have no idea where this swell's come from, but if you've been watching, all of a sudden, this big ripples came through. I clearly can't talk about anything serious when I'm on the kayak. Anyway, back to my conversation. So, growth mindset's all about having an understanding of, or trying to improve every time you go out and do something. Doesn't always work. So if you go out with the intention of catching a fish every single time, that's good. Intention is good. But if you go out and you're going to say, right, if I don't catch a fish, this is going to be an absolute devastation. I'm going to be heartbroken. It's going to be the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. I'm exaggerating. Then obviously it's a very different situation. So, and when you don't catch a fish, you will feel devastated and you'll feel like you've not achieved. And that causes people to be frustrated. It causes people to only go to spots where they know they've caught fish in the past. And often, people then don't, you know, as a general rule, if you're in that kind of mindset, you're not going to go out and you're not going to try new spots. You're not going to go and be brave and risk not catching fish. And I guess for me, if I think about, you know, this world that I seem to have got myself into with YouTube, making a few YouTube videos here and there, you know, it can be really easy to get into the mindset of, oh, I've not caught a fish, I'm not going to put a video up on YouTube, or I need to catch a fish to keep the videos going, because we know how sensitive the algorithm is. And the algorithm is sensitive, you know, the YouTube algorithm is sensitive, and you know, that's all to do with ad revenue and YouTube's way of making money, and Google's way of making money. But, you know, it is a sensitive kind of system, so you do get a bit, oh, I've not caught a fish, this is going to be terrible, and I'll need to go out and get another one. And then you start chasing it. I guess it's a bit like gambling in that way. You start chasing the fact that you want a fish, and then you get frustrated that you're not catching a fish because you can't put a video out. And I was like that in the winter. I was a bit like that because I wanted to keep the channel going, but I couldn't get out. There was no way I could get out from the last time I kayaked till today. You know, with life, family, the weather has been awful here. I should put a small clip into my last video of the swell, but the weather here has not been the greatest. It's not been like this, that's for sure. It's a gorgeous day today. So yeah, it's really important that we as people, I guess, I like to say it's important that we have a growth mindset. And I definitely have I've developed a growth mindset in my career. I've spent probably the last 13 years, 2012 maybe, I started sort of really trying to change my mindset to believe that everything I'm doing is about growth and everything I'm doing is about improving. And actually it's really freeing once I got into that mindset. I felt really, really free. God, I feel like I'm saying you a lot in people. It's very unlike me. That's a habit, I have to think about that. I wonder why I've done that. So yeah, as a person, I guess I just like to, oh, it's raining. I guess I just like to try and grow all the time. So every time I go out fishing, I look at, you know, the clips I've produced. I look at the process that I went through, and was the process conducive to catching good fish? If the process was good, then fantastic. Do you know, I know I'm doing the right thing to catch the fish, and I just need to keep doing that. And if the process wasn't good, which there will be areas where it won't be, you know, where maybe I've paddled too much, or I've spent too much time, you know, faffing, or my equipment's not prepped. There's a good example. You know, my equipment's not ready today. Okay, so why was that? Well, that's because I bought a cheap reel. Okay, there's one. Didn't check it last night. There's the reason. It's because I didn't check it, you know, and I have control over that situation. So need to make a mental note, check my gear before I go out. And I think, you know, that's for me how to look at every situation. If a situation doesn't go well, what are the learning points from it, and how do you develop? And if you can go into every situation, it's really difficult and it doesn't always work. You know, if you can go into every situation thinking, actually, I'm going to improve today, and whatever happens, it's going to make me better at whatever it is that I'm doing, then, you know, you will improve, you will get better. the worst thing you can do is blame other people, and, you know, blame things that are out with your control. You can't control, you know, what the weather's doing. I can't control that. If I can't get out because the weather's bad, I can't get out because the weather's bad. Oh, don't know if that was maybe just a bit of a snag, actually. Nothing I'm going to be able to do about it. You know, weather's bad. I can't go fishing. That is life. I can fish on the shore. I can, you know, throw some bait into the water for some cod, maybe. Although it's getting to the stage where that's not going to happen either, because it's not really cod season anymore. You know, work's busy, can't get on the kayak. Right, work's busy, can't get on the kayak. Do you know? What can I do to affect that situation? I can try and find some annual leave when there's good weather. Or I can get up at 5:30. I can be on the water by 8 o'clock. By 8 o'clock? I can be off the water by 8 o'clock. I can be on the water by, you know, quarter to 7. 10 to 7 I think I was on this morning, just with the light. It was just still a little bit dark when I first got down here, you know, and I can have a great time. It's really important that we develop a way of improving when we do things. That's my kind of take on stuff, is I really think that having the ability to grow every time you do something is really powerful. But it's difficult to get into the habit, and it doesn't always work, you know. I think when I was younger, I found it a lot easier. I think as I've got a bit older, a bit more life stress, I've maybe found it harder at times. Not the growth thing, just the getting frustrated at not growing thing. I think maybe some self-reflection for me there. But it's really important that we look at how we grow. And if you fail, if you don't do so well, if you don't catch a fish, you know, in whatever it is you're doing, then you grow from it and you learn from it and you develop and you make the systems better. Oh, systems, that's a whole other philosophy kayak rant. So yeah, I tend not to fish here. There's a bit of an example. I tend not to fish here because I don't catch fish here. However, I have caught fish here. So to say, oh, I'm never going to fish here because I didn't catch fish is, you know, not being growth minded. Am I fishing in the right place? Well, actually, if you look at my sounder right now, I'll put it up there for you. It's flat and there's no depth changes, and there haven't been for the last probably about 5 minutes of this rant. So I'm going to go and move and try and find some depth changes for my last 15 minutes before I have to head in. Growth mindset. Every time you head out to do something, are you trying to grow and get better at it? Or is it all about achieving, and is it someone else's fault, and is everything you did perfect? Because I guarantee the answer to that question will be no. Let's go for a paddle before I start talking about perfection. Even down to my paddling technique, you know, I'll watch this video back and I'll go, okay, how was my paddling technique? Could it be better? The answer will be yes. My paddling technique is rubbish. But I want to grow it, I want to make it better, so I need to look at it. So I now have a Facebook page, I have an Instagram page, East Lothian Kayak Fishing for the Facebook, EL Kayak Fishing for the Instagram. I'm gonna have a shot at this YouTube thing, I think. I'm gonna really try and learn from it and see how we go. You know, not all of my videos are amazing. Some of them are, I'm really pleased with some of the editing in some of mine. I've worked hard at some of them. Developing the story, I find it a little bit more difficult, I guess. Because, you know, often, you know, it's a fishing channel. It is about catching fish. However much I have just gone on and said, you know, it's not about catching fish. Sometimes it is about catching fish. Can't, you know, I need to catch some fish at some point. Oh, that's a bit bumpy. But, ooh, fish. Ooh, what is that? That's a weird set of marks. Now I wish I'd not drifted over them already. I don't think I'll drift back over them. Maybe. I've just put this out the wrong side. Oh well. It was just a really weird set of lines come up on the sounder. I've not seen marks like that on the sounder before. They were weird. I think we will drift back over it. It was like a barcode. If it was at the top of the water column, I'd have said it was a fault with the sounder. But with where it was, I think it really was bouncing off something. I just don't know what. Seal, probably. Oh, there's another problem. Seals. Hate seals. A friend of mine's just texted me saying, hello, what's it like out there? Would it be worth heading out? Yeah, it's a bit rough on the shore, but once you get out, it's okay. How do I do this? The voice note? Is this working? I'm just thinking about that little chat I've just been on about with my growth mindset stuff. And I'm just kind of thinking, like, is there anything I would add to that conversation? Yes, there probably is quite a lot. I'm not sure how it will sound on the once I go back and listen to it when I put this video together, but I think the bottom line is that practice makes better, and that's kind of my way of thinking about it. I can hear someone speaking. That's really weird. Unless it's Nicola coming through my phone. So some of that will probably come across in the video. We'll see. I maybe won't put Nicola's croaky voice in first thing in the morning. But we use the smokestack over here as our kind of like gauge on how flat the wind's going to be. So the more vertical it is, I guess is the way of thinking about it. The straighter it is, the better it is for us, for kayaking in the wind. Practice makes better, ultimately. If you aim to improve, you will improve, and you'll get a better idea of where to kayak and when to kayak, and you know what fish to catch. And like I said at the very start of this video, I didn't think I was going to catch fish today. Today's not about catching. Today's about getting out. If I'd had those feathers, could I have caught some fish? Well, do you know, there were lots of small marks on the sounders. Are they 1/0 hooks? Yeah, they're 1/0 hooks. I've got some some size 8 feathers with me. I reckon I could have picked out some small pollock or some small coalfish, perhaps. There's definitely been marks on the sounder. If I brought bait with me, but I didn't. You know, that's not. You know, it's not a what if. That's not the point of a growth mindset. The point of a growth mindset is: so what did I do today that was good? What did I do today that was bad? And what am I going to do next time? I'll tell you what I am going to do, given the time. I've got 3 minutes, so I'm going to start paddling in. I need to be at my desk, showered and ready to work. I say work. Ready to work at 9 o'clock. Because I have a class. And in my class, I'm going to talk about these exact things. I've decided. Chat about growth and how we develop a growth mindset. It's difficult. Is it difficult? I don't know. Right, rant over. Let's get in. these are two big waves here. So this is the end of the set here. They've just gone underneath me. How much time have I got to faff around? Oh, 8:06. 54 minutes till work. Where's the pipe? So I don't hit it. There. How big are these waves? They're not too bad. Okay, let's try coming in these waves. Yeah. Oh, that was pretty big. And rest for a moment just to let all this pass. Oh, the boy in me. The young lad. So there is safe. I'm coming over there, as you can see on the GoPro. No bother at all. Straight in, easy. However, right in front of me, a little bit of a surf, maybe come in a bit squint. Much easier walk over the cobbles to get back to the van. Whew, that's a good wave. For this one, and then there should be one more in the set, and then let's power it, I think. See if we can surf some of these in. Maybe my powering is not possible in this little boat. That's a big wave. Let that one go underneath us. Oh, will they just go safe? I don't want to go safe. I want to have fun. Okay, now I think I'm in trouble. I'm now in the water. I'm in the wreck, actually. Here I am. Come out. Bad technique. You know what? It'll get me in. Big rock in front of me. Push over this little wave here. Come in. Oh, it's gonna break on my back. Crash. I don't think I could do about that once I started riding that wave. Oh, well, that was good. Whew. I can bring this up here without scratching it. Nice up W there.